up in the like growing up in this society, and just because you have this skin tone, you have different rules that you got to abide by, or you can't be proud of your history because you're this skin tone. Like, people really got killed because they were a different skin tone, bro. You know how stupid that is? You know how ignorant you got to be to put somebody in a tree and them because they're black? It's probably the dumbest I've ever heard, bro, to be honest with you. Like, I say this from not an ignorant standpoint, by the way. So shout out to the educators. I'm not diminishing, um, what you put out there and what I've learned. I'm saying that it's one of the dumbest things ever. It really is. It's one of the. It really is, bro. You really don't like somebody because they're a different color, they're a different religion, bro. That's the dumbest shit ever for me. I don't get it.
I agree. It is absolutely one of the dumbest things I've ever heard. And that's why I, well, I disowned and fully separated myself from the Democratic plantation. That's exactly why I made that decision, because I could not stand with individuals who were so fixated on somebody's color, who went in direct opposition to the words of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., put some damn respect on his name. That's exactly why I made that decision, to step away from a party that is still to this day fixated on race. Everything is about what somebody looks like as opposed to who they actually are. So let's hear what else this brother has to say right here.
Get along with people like that, bro. And I don't have time to listen to people like that. Literally, you're trying to downplay the fact of racism and then say, pick up your bootstraps and work harder.
Okay, this is where you lose me. For those of y'all who don't know who this young man is right here, this is a man who goes by the name of Kyrie Irving. Happens to be one of the greatest point guards, if not top 50 basketball players of all time. At least top 5 in handles and the way he is able to maneuver with that ball. He is incredible. He's a magician with the basketball. However, Kyrie Irving also happens to be a man who made 41 million, or is, I guess, projected to make $41 million, not in a lifetime. No. In a single year, in the year of our Lord 2025, Kyrie Irving will be making almost as much money as LeBron James, the face of the NBA himself. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say he doesn't deserve it. He deserves everything that he's worked for. But it's curious to me how all of a sudden, when it comes to the conversation of race, he looks to pander by saying, oh, the audacity of telling somebody to pick themselves up from the bootstraps. Guess who picked themselves up from their bootstraps, sir? You did. Mr. Kyrie Irving, you picked yourself up from your bootstraps. You worked your absolute ass off. As the smallest guy on most courts that you will play on, you ended up being one of the best players because you developed a game that was undeniable. And this is what breaks my heart when individuals like this, the LeBron James of the world, etc., when these guys start to push this narrative of racism in America, racism, I can't hear them correctly. The message doesn't register because I'm looking at the reality as opposed to what they're actually telling me. The reality, sir, is that you have made hundreds of millions of dollars within your NBA career, dribbling a ball and making sure that ball makes its way into a net. That has been your career. I'm not taking away from your sport. I'm just saying this is the reality. You have been paid more you get paid more in a game, in a single game, than most people will make in the next 5 years. 81 games in a season, right? 81 games. Let's do the math in real time. So we can really break down just how racist this country is that has afforded you this opportunity. So 41 minutes divided by 82 games in the season, I believe it's 82. So $500,000. So yeah, most people aren't making $100,000 a year. So you're making $500,000 a game. Let's break that down even more. I'm curious now. By, let's say, 48 minutes, you're making $10,000 a minute, sir. This is a moment where I can literally say, shut up and dribble. And I'm not saying that because I'm trying to be offensive. I mean, bro, you're literally making significantly more just keeping quiet and going and playing the game that you play best. But when you start to step into this arena here, that ain't it. Now, again, I'm gonna let him continue because he made some good points. Again, I believe that the greatest stain in human history is the dehumanizing of all humans, all slavery in all of human history, all of it. Antebellum slavery, slavery within Africa, slavery within South America, slavery within Europe, slavery within the Middle East, Persian trade, all of it is disgusting. Every single slave trade deserves to be denounced. There is no way to celebrate or endorse that in any respect. I'm not one of those kind of guys, but I'm also not going to sit here and pretend that, there was only one group of people who went through slavery and atrocities, etc., and went through the worst version of it. It was a terrible version, and it is a dark stain on human history. Again, this is why I completely separated myself from all things Democratic Party, because that was the platform that fought to keep slavery, that created Jim Crow laws in 1870, that then filibustered the Civil Rights Act in the 60s. These are the same people. And don't get it twisted. Just because they pander a little better now doesn't mean that they've changed. But let's go ahead and let him finish his thought here. So let's bring you back to the stage, sir.
When there's a whole system designed to oppress people that have darker skin tones. So you can judge me when you see me at a basketball court. You can say all these nasty things. People have said nasty things to me before. I've heard people say different things to people before, but you don't even know who I am. That's what I'm saying. This is my crash out cam because I got to give y'all this one-on-one POV before I get out of here. But the racism and all that stuff, and I'm sure like I've gotten shadow banned plenty of times on my social platforms for talking about certain issues. I don't care either. But I'm saying I stand up for humanity being a coexisting community where race, culture, and class or religion is not always at the forefront of everything you do.
So, sir, then why would you sit here and pretend as if this is a one-sided conversation? Are we going to sit here and pretend that it has not become culturally acceptable, normalized, to be racist towards those who don't have this melanin? It has become a reverse cycle, right? Where once before, according to the laws of the Democratic plantation, if you had a darker pigmentation, you were less of a human. Now, the very same people are purporting that if you are white, there's something wrong with you. To be white is essentially to be less than human. And these are messages that are said in the mainstream on a daily basis. I'm not just talking about Farrakhan and his ridiculous ideas. I'm talking about pundits on, national television, the Joy Reids of the world telling you that white tears don't matter. White tears don't matter. Well, I guess her tears didn't matter the day she got her ass fired. We have messaging on a daily basis. These white people this, these white people that. And if we really want to get to a place where we are in a quote unquote, post-racial world, guess what? We have to completely obliterate the race hustling culture. And this, sir, this right here, I don't know what it was an attempt at. You're an intelligent individual or you are articulate. I don't know intelligent, but you're articulate for sure. You know how to express an idea. It's just that sometimes those ideas are off. And you are a direct representation that those ideas are off. You have $41 million. Look, a 3-year contract for $120 million. Can y'all wrap y'all heads around $120 million? And again, I'm a capitalist. I believe that you should get all the money that you deserve for whatever it is that you do. You bring value to the marketplace and they dictate what that value is. I am for that 1,000%. But I'm not going to sit here and pretend that a man making $120 million can sit here and tell us about, systems of oppression and a country who is so fixated on oppressing people who look like him. No, you're not. And I'm not either. The reason I'm able to do what I do, the reason why I'm able to make a living and take care of my family doing what I do is because I live in a country of opportunity that has done its very best to fight against the evils that we as humanity, as a collective, once all accepted. That's the reality. That's the reality. I don't even want to bring up the other statistics because it's not necessary. But this is a disingenuous argument. That's why it is dangerous. It's not only misinformed and misguided, but it also creates the very same divisiveness, because this is pitting one against the other again. Again, I speak on race only when it is to show the contradictions. I speak on race when it is to highlight essentially the stupidity of some of these ideas, but more importantly to say, wait a minute, why are we fixated on being a part of a quote unquote culture when we're individuals to begin with? Why are we so badly want to be a part of this thing, the mainstream culture, the mainstream narrative, that we forget that we are indeed individuals? Why are we so fixated on this that we think that we're actually a collective because of this, right? We create our loyalty off of this. Do you know how many people who look just like me want to see me destroyed? Would rather see me 6 feet under than see me thrive? So what are we talking about here? These are nothing more than old played out excuses, and it breaks my heart when somebody who could be teaching, who could be pushing a message of this is how you build, young black man. This is how you do that. This is how you become all you can be, young quote unquote black man. No, not that one. Instead, how dare they tell us pull ourselves up by the bootstraps? Sir, you against all odds became one of a literal multi-million to get into the NBA. And not only that, but be the cream of the crop, to be one of the best at 6'0", to be one of the best players ever. I love Kyrie's game. I think he is absolutely phenomenal. But why not push a message of, I'm a brother making 120 million. Do you know the types of opportunities that are being afforded to us in a country like America? If I was born in almost any other country, if not any other country, this opportunity would not exist. Thank you, America, for being what you are. America, you have dark parts of your past, but there's also beautiful parts of your history. There are aspects that are completely, we should do away with. Absolutely. But there's also so much that we should grasp onto. The very same things that have allowed me to be who I am, to prosper and to take care of the people around me in ways we could never imagine. Your ancestors could have never dreamt of one day being in such a position, and you're the one in that position, and you're the one who's going to complain. That makes no damn sense to me. Kyrie, you get my victim of the week, sir. You get my victim of the week. Ain't no damn way. I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Now, if you'd like to stay around, make sure to click that little subscribe button down there, or you can show some love by going to the description below and clicking on the button titled Buy Me a Coffee. Leave a little something there, or click on the Cash App. Leave a little something here. Till the next time, peace.
I fell in love with the sunshine. I fell in love with the light. I fell in love with the full moon. I fell in love with the night. I can see the light again. I can see the light. You can see the life in him illuminate the night. I know the time is taking. A 365, that's a full rotation. I see you looking up. You know them constellations. Constantly gazing like house of praises. You get to praising.